So I'm interviewing Riki. What's your surname? I don't even know.
It's Zalavra with Z.
Zalavra.
Σταμάτα. Ασερέκια.
Zalavra.
Κωνσταντίνε, τώρα κάνουμε μία δουλειά για την Γκέιτ. Εντάξει, αγάπη μου.
How would you say the rocks shape your experience of living here on a day-to-day basis?
I haven't thought about. I haven't think about that. I think that when you're sad or when you don't have energy to do something, if you look at the rocks or if you go a walk, you can walk. You can do it on foot, or you can have a drive by car. So it changes your how you feel. It makes you feel. For me, it makes me always feel better to take a walk around the rocks. Either to stay there for a while, to have a quick coffee or something like that. So I think they change my mood in a better way.
Would you say that's something common to you and your friends and your family, or is that a personal thing?
I think it's common to most of the people. Some people may choose to do hiking or climbing, so this takes the stress away.
Yeah.
And we spend a lot of time. We spend a lot of time with my friends, mainly in the summer because it is easier. And the weather is better. In the rocks, when we don't want to be like go just for coffee.
Yeah.
Όχι, αγάπη μου, ευχαριστώ. Έχω φάει πάρα πολλά.
What is your first memory of realizing that the rocks were something special?
My first memory.
Of that just thinking, because lots of people have said to me that there's the rocks, blah, 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 and then one day they go like, oh, actually, this is something really special.
It was when I was old enough, because in the summer, I didn't spend, when I was in my childhood, I used to spend the summers in my village. So I wouldn't play around here in the old city of Kalabaka. But I was old enough and I have visited a Greek island, and I met a monk there, and he was so happy to meet someone from Meteora.
Oh, really?
Yes, because he thought that we still was going up to the rocks with the old way. And then it was like a moment, oh my God, it's amazing. For someone, it was like about 10 years ago to believe that thing. And we explained him that now you can go by car or by foot. I think that was the point that I felt something like, oh, it's really amazing to live there.
And when you living in Athens, for example, if you say you come from Kalabaka, does everybody know that this is where the Meteora Mountains are? Do people sort of say, oh, wow?
Yes, from Greece, yes, mainly yes. There is very few people that they don't know that Meteora they are located in Kalabaka, because a lot of schools who are in Athens or in Peloponnesus, they used to organize school trips to Meteora.
Oh, really?
As for us, when you live here, the school organized trips to Athens, for example, or to Thessaloniki. So it goes like this.
Do you have dreams about the rocks?
If I'm dreaming about the rocks?
Yeah.
When I was in 4th or 5th grade, I don't remember if this was a dream or something, or how I used to feel about something. I always drew the rock as I see one of my balcony in my home, and it's fun. And over the rock, it was a flower But the funny thing, it was that the flower was very big. So I found it was not so realistic. Probably it was something that I felt and I could not explain why.
Wow.
So it was a huge flower over the rock. It was so...
How beautiful.
I don't know why, however. And sometimes when I'm stressed, I'm dreaming of flying over the rocks without a parachute. Like I'm able to fly by myself. I don't know why.
I have those dreams also. Me, I'm flying in the supermarket. That's a much better dream.
Maybe it's something that I think when you fly without, when you feel that you fly by yourself, it's like that you have overcome something. Maybe it works like this. I don't know.
We can discuss this later, as they say. No.
Hi.
Kalispera. Oh, hi.
Hello.
It's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Where have you been? Hang on, wait 1 second. So, are there special places you like most amongst the rocks?
Here in Kalabaka, I like the Dragon Cave because it's very, the way that the light goes in, it's unique, and I believe in dragons also. So it's something, of course. And I like very much path that goes you to the great monastery. It's Megalo Meteora. The path, it's for me the best one, the most beautiful one. It's like you're inside the trees, and there are like stairs shaped with rocks. It's my favorite path.
Wow. I should try and go there. How do you find, so you have a lot of experience with visitors to this region. How do you find that visitors react to this place? Do you see them before they go out to the mountains and then after?
I think most of the people, they're fascinated. They are fascinated because they don't. If they have already checked about the rocks before, so if they don't, if they have checked, they know that they used to be covered with water, but. It's very different to have read something and then to see it and see how big it is and how it could be covered with water. And there are people who don't know even that they were covered with water. So when you tell them that, it was like, oh my God. Because, and for me, it's also, I know that, but if I think about that, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that as big the rocks are on top, the same big they are underground.
Wow. I
think I'm not sure, maybe it's not right, but I think that that's why they don't fall. For example, if they were too short in the underground, maybe with an earthquake something would have fallen, right? I'm not sure.
Wow. Would you say that that there's any particular character to the people of Kalabaka?
I think that can I be honest?
For sure.
I think that they could be better with each other. They're very kind. People who visit Kalabaka, very kind. But they could also be as kind to each other, but they're not. So they have the ability, if they want, to become better to each other.
That's so interesting.
Yes, because I think Kalabaka has so many visitors that even now in the winter, it's like a Greek island without the sea.
Right.
The Greek islands live 6 months or 7 in the summer and they rest in the winter. And also Kalabaka could have the same way of living, but they don't cooperate with each other.
Interesting.
Yes.
Because our experience here is that everybody's cooperating so beautifully because everyone's helping and
Yeah, it's when you're a visitor, it works like this.
Yeah.
But they don't do it to each other. So naturally.
Yeah.
Maybe they expect something to take back.
okay. Oh, that's interesting. Would you say, well, I mean, it's kind of an extension of the same thing. Is there a strong sense of community here in Kalabaka?
For me, I don't believe that.
Oh, really?
I would like young people to change that thing
Uh-huh.
and not think about how they will make more money in Kalabaka in the easiest way. They can work all together to work on it. For example, to give an opportunity to more extreme sports to grow up. Not only Billy has fighting a lot for climbing and hiking, and now there are the travel agencies that they also work for that, and that's the good part. But I think that there would be more people investing on that. Even, for example, a shop, for a cafe only for brunch, because people here, the visitors would like to enjoy brunch, but it would be only brunch. So it opens at 6 in the morning and at 1 in the noon to be off, just for breakfasts or brunch. Not you start like breakfast and then you want just coffee and. Do you know what I'm doing?
Yeah. So they could kind of take a relay from
Yes.
one another. Yeah, like on that island that you were telling us
Yes,
about.
this island is unique. It's a small one, but if you go once there, you will always want to go for again.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to write down the name of this place and go there.
Yes, you should go. You would
I
like
should
that.
definitely go there.
I think that you should go first to Ikaria. It's the perfect island for you. And then you should visit Donusa. The energy of the island is unique.
Zonusa. Okay.
It's like D. I think if we translate it in English, Donusa, because we use the D, the del, this is like this for us, and for you it's the D.
I like how some Greek people go, they have a kind of, it's almost like a lisp, but the reverse of a lisp. It's like more sharp, no? They
Yes,
go like, it's very nice. Yes, see you. Yeah, and it's like, wow, it sounds like glass, no?
Yes, they do that.
Yeah.
If you visit,
Is that a regional accent or?
no, I think it's like a personal one, or maybe they want to be more understand, or they know they are nervous, or maybe they speak the same way in Greek.
Yeah, because Billy speaks like that.
She has
And-
maybe.
Also, my friend Alina. Yeah. And they go, and it just sounds really nice. Sounds great. If you could change one thing about Kalabaka, what would it be?
The people.
Oh God.
I think the people.
Yeah.
No. That's very strict. I think the way the people think.
Right.
That's the right way to say. The way that the people think.
It seems to me, so please correct me, many young people are staying rather than moving away in Kalabaka. Do you feel that they're interested in the past, these people, in learning more about their own sense of home and identity? Would you say that's something that interests young people really, or is it something...
Some
don't
people,
notice?
they choose to stay here, I think because they are afraid to try something new, like living in a
really?
bigger city. Maybe they don't feel confident, but you cannot be confident unless you try something. And now, the last before COVID, okay, some years before COVID, 2 years before COVID, a lot of people came back. Because it was not so easy to live in a big city like Athens or Thessaloniki.
Yeah.
It was too expensive and a lot of stressful situations. So I think that some people they are afraid of trying something new. They like the way they live right now without have seen something else. And some people they came back because they want to have a better quality of living. And here you can have it. The time it works for you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it doesn't really seem that way because lots of people have said, "Oh, I might go away, but I'll definitely come back when I have children."
Yes. In Athens, in big cities in Greece, when you have children, they cannot grow up playing in the road or in the playgrounds. They grew up in a flat. And when you, if you as a child had grew up in a flat, it's okay. It's that one. But if you have grown up in a place like Kalabaka or villages that we used to go in summer, it's like, oh my God. Because they don't feel safe in Athens to leave their children alone, for example, in the playground, or to trust their neighborhood, to have an eye on their children while they are playing. So I think it's two. Some people came back, and some people are afraid to
It's really
try.
interesting. Do you know much about the history of this region, about Philip of Macedonia, about the Second World War? I was very interested to learn that the whole city had been destroyed twice.
Yeah, I don't know.
City, town.
More like a small village, where a big village. I don't know so much about that history, because when I was in school, I was never wanted. I didn't want to study. I just want to play. So it's now that I have grown, I'm going back and reading things. So I don't want to say something that I don't know. I don't know much about that.
Yeah.
But I should have.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's such a very rich history around here, and
Very. There are things that I'm learning now, and they're wow.
Yeah.
I'm also amazed by these things.
We've got this guy who said he's going to take us to these tombs that are not far from here, where there's all these tombs that are from the time of Alexander the Great.
For example, I don't know that.
Yeah, and nobody knows that. Even Billy didn't know about this one.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really excited. So he said he'd take us in the car. So maybe me and Paloma and Indira and Phoebe and you and everyone, we could all just go. And I'd like to see that before I leave, because it's like, abandoned tombs with lots of ceramic. We should show it.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, there's still shepherds and farmers here, which I find really wonderful. What do the children and grandchildren of shepherds do now? Because I know that lots of jobs go from father to son. So a shepherd, are the shepherds raising their children and grandchildren to be shepherds, for example? Yeah.
That's the sad part in Greece, I think, because there is, I think it's like a phenomenon that it's like, I would say that I found it like a little like being a racist when someone is not a lawyer or a doctor, but there are not only these jobs. You can be anything that makes you feel happy and productive. So, if someone was a shepherd, he mainly, people make him, for me, feel that he was less important or not educated. So, he was stupid. So, for his children, he wanted to be to go to school and then to go to university. And it was you have the upper class, the low class. They thought to be the lowest class, but I don't agree with that at all. So mainly a lot of children now, they want to be either they wanted to be lawyers, doctors, or teachers, because if you get your job at the public section, you will have your job forever. So a steady salary, so you won't have to work hard or You will always have something, money to have food. But I think that now there are a lot of young people who are interested in agriculture because, and also they work with bees. Yes, they make honey, and there are also people who works with finding truffle. So I believe that it will change the way that they think about being a farmer or shepherd. So it's something like for me it's you cannot say that someone is stupid because he have decided to work with animals or to work with land.
There are truffles around here, right? Because
yes,
yes,
there are.
And so, where are the truffles sold?
I think mainly I don't know. Maybe the girls know, or mainly in some restaurants for sure. And I don't know if we can export them, if we are allowed to do that.
Right.
So either in families, local family, or in big restaurants.
So does your dad, for example, go and hunt for truffles and with his dogs and bring them back?
He mainly hunts birds.
That's a shame.
The pointer and the setter are for birds.
Right.
But
he must have friends who get truffles and bring them.
I think yes. He knows a lot of people who hunt because he's doing that for since I remember myself. He likes that, but he doesn't hunt when it's not allowed.
Right.
Because we always fight about that, and he says me that nature has its chain, so we follow that chain.
Yeah. Why do you fight about that?
Because I don't like to kill small animals.
Oh, so you don't kill animals at all? Yeah.
And he's a hunter.
That's not working out for you. Okay, so are there any local myths associated with the rocks that you would like to share? Or the trees, or any particular location?
Here in Kalabaka?
Yeah.
I don't know so many myths about here in Kalabaka because I grew up in my village. But we can also ask Zozo, to be honest, and because they grew up in the old Kalabaka. And for sure Billy, he knows a lot because each rock has his own name and its own history behind, and I believe that they have more stories. The one story that they have, someone have told me about Kalabaka, it's about the scent that we have. We have a scent, Visarionas, it's the name of the scent. And he came here as like a pool guy. Give me 1 second. I want. The shop are very nice. Except for this one, the one that
You said everything was crap.
Yes. And the story says that this scent came here many years ago. As a poor guy, and no one helped him, not even gave him some water, and so he gave a curse to this city, never to grow up because the people are not kind and friendly with each other. And then they made him the church to take off the curse, and it's our church, our main saint. I think every city in Greece have its own saint who celebrate like a name day.
Yeah.
And for example, I think in a few days is his celebration, and everything is closed.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I think in
so the
September.
whole town celebrates.
Yes, there is everything closed like this, and there is a big celebration in the church, something like that.
The church. What is your relationship with the church?
I don't believe in church. I believe in God, but I don't believe in church because I think it's a very clever business. They are very clever. So I think that you can meet people like monks or priests that they really love what they do, and you can understand how they react with you.
Yeah.
But when you have, for example, to pay for a camper, to pay some more for a big candle, to pay extra money when you want to get married, there is something like a fixed price from 200 to 500.
Oh my God.
Yes, and if you want to do the baptism, you also have to pay extra money.
Really?
Yes. And they have already been paid by the, I think the Pope, I don't know.
So they have like a thing that they show you?
They don't show you, they tell this to you because they're not allowed
Really?
to show you something.
Oh.
So you have to pay for everything, for example. And sometimes
You have to pay for a special service for your
Yes,
mum if she
yes.
just died, whatever, yeah.
everything for everything. So if someone, and there are people, I think I don't like to hear from priests, especially young ones, to talk about how you should treat people, how you should treat people who does not have the same interests like you. They have an opinion about feminism. Then they have an opinion about the same gender couples, not the good one. They have an opinion about everything, and that is very sad because there are a lot of people who believe in church, and that's something that I don't like at all. I think it's a very well organized business, and there's some, but I still believe that there are some few people who really are they love what they do. So if you meet them, you will understand the difference from others that they just work.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yes, I can see really what you mean. And do you have a relationship or your family with anyone in particular up in the monasteries there? Or?
No.
Yeah.
No. They were never having
Really?
No.
But that's fascinating because your family is like a nice family here in Kanadaka, and you don't. There's not one nun you invite for supper or
No. Never. When my dad, when we were children with my sister, my grandmother, she always, every Sunday, we used to go to the church. In the Christmas and in the Easter, we do that, the diet that we don't eat meat and this thing. And my dad was like this: you can do what your grandpa says, but you will never go to, there was a place that you could go in the afternoon. Give me 1 second, maybe there is a word for that. Give me 1 second.
this pizza is so good.
Okay. There was a place that you could go to get a religious lecture, and mainly you could go once in a week, for example, and a priest would talk to you, mainly in children, and he told them, "You will never go there, never." Or
Really?
Yes, and he never let us to.
Really?
Never.
Like catechism kind of thing.
And he never let us to do confession. Never.
Really?
Because here in Greece, if you want to do the confession, I think it's like, I have never done it, so I don't know exactly. But as I have heard, it's like the priest, and you have to be on your knees and your hand like this. You are not in the same level with the priest. It's like you're asking sorry for everything. And he was it was these two only things. I don't want you to go there. I never want you to do that thing.
Wow.
But you can go to church. You can believe. You will choose to believe if you want. But he never let us do those things.
Oh,
That's good for me.
That's really beautiful.
Yes, that's nice. That's nice.
Your dad's really cool.
It's something. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty good thing. Okay, so hiking and walking. Pilgrimage to nature. Ah, yeah. So, sorry, these are like sort of like almost like storytelling notes kind of thing. I've been thinking that the way people hike and walk around here is like they're on a pilgrimage in an interesting kind of way.
What they are?
A pilgrimage. It's like they are paying homage to the beauty of nature.
Ah, okay.
In a way that is, that seems to me to be like a religion,
Ah, okay.
except it's loving nature.
Nature. Okay.
No?
Okay.
It's a very nice thing, I think, because there's this real sort of sense of love
For the place, I agree. I agree with you in that. But I think there are people who love hiking and know every path here, and they do it very often.
Mm-hmm.
And but the only good thing that COVID did here, it was that I think most of the people tried to do all the paths. They did all the paths because we were not allowed to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone started hiking, and from a stressful everyday situation, they were, we're working in the nature. Oh, it's amazing, and everyone was happy. Everyone that you. Because I used to go every day for hiking, so everyone that you met was, hi, I go out for hiking.
Wow. So during COVID,
Yes, everyone.
everyone's just out in these incredible mountains.
Yes.
Oh my God, you're some of the luckiest people
Yes, we are.
in the world.
In this, yes, we are.
Wow.
You could do hiking for hours.
Yeah.
Yes, you could walk for more than. You could choose to combine paths, so you could walk for 5 hours, 3 hours, as many hours as you want.
Huh.
And you met a lot of people in the hiking, but everyone was like, hi, they were happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I can see why. Yeah. Gossip. Relationships with one another and so on. You've told me some particularly good bits of gossip. Does the church ever get involved in gossip? If there's stories that go round, does like a priest show up at the front door and say, I've heard,
I think that the church, the monasteries, they create the gossip. They are not. There are a lot of gossips about them in the monasteries.
Will you tell me some gossip about the monastery?
For example, if you don't want to go in jail and you have done a small crime, killing someone, or you can become a monk here, for example. And the monastery, the monks or the nuns, not the monasteries, the place. I think that they believe that they own the place and the rocks and everything. They act like that. So they do not allow anything else to grow apart from them.
Yeah.
That's not good because there are a lot of jobs that now that they are not exist. A lot of tourists that who don't visit Kalabaka because, for example, they like to do climbing or this one that you fall from the sky.
Yeah, paragliding.
Yes. And they were not allowed to do that because they always cause problems.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's the bad thing for me. So they create the problem for me.
Would you say that? What would you say is your relationship with the idea of a sacred place?
A secret place?
Sacred.
Like
almost like a holy
place. I would like to have this place. I would like to have a place feel it so unique. Because I live here every day, I don't see it as a sacred place here. It's my reality.
Yeah.
But I have one. I have one. It's a church, a small church. In my village, there is a church that you need inside the trees. And we visit it only once in a year when we celebrate. It's the scent that I told you, the Friday, for your eyes. It's my favorite one.
Oh, really?
And it's the only church that I have seen, because in this church it's so old that it's like the door is very small. You take a turn to get in, and then there is the front place as you know it for the men, and there is a separated room that it was only for the women. They were not allowed to be together. And in the walls of the place that it was for the women, the drones I have never seen similar anywhere, because they're not only the saints and the Madonna and the Jesus Christ, but it's also the hell.
Oh.
It's like small
devils.
Small devils and big pots with fire. It's amazing. And my grandfather told me that it's about, I think it was built in 1300. So
Is it far from here?
from here, yes, you need 45 minutes to go to be in my village, and another 45 minutes to go there, and the road is like this. So it's only this one outside.
No, yeah, it's just a rough track.
Yes.
Wow.
But this church is for me, it's amazing. But it's not a regular church. If you go inside, it's like almost dark, and it has a very unique smell. I don't know why. It's like the people were too short. Were short enough. And there is a myth that there was a snake on top of on the roof, that it was there to protect the church if someone was going to steal something, and there is the key to open the door. It's like this.
Wow! And has someone got the key? Like, is there still a priest who goes and does the service there? Or?
Yes, only the key goes. The key is every family in the village. They take care of the key. They change to keep it safe.
Oh.
I don't know how often, but for example, this 6 months is in Kate's family. The other 6 months is in Riki's family.
Wow.
So, and if someone wants to go, and I think twice in the year they go just to clean the place, and we go to celebrate on 26th of July every year.
Do you clean the church?
I haven't cleaned it. My grandmother, yes, has been there a lot of times.
Wow.
It's
I
like
think it must be very clean, this church.
And it has a very nice smell. I don't know why I like this smell. It makes me calm, this place. But I think it's also because I grew up there, and it's full of trees. It's amazing, the forest. I think that you would like that place very much.
Yeah, I think so. Also.
It's the trees are. We're like, oh my god.
What about old people in this community? They seem to be very well cared for and loved in this part of the world. There seems to be a very beautiful sense of family in this region. Would you say that's the countryside in Greece, or?
I think it's mainly in the countryside of Greece and in the islands. People are also like this. And in Athens, I think that because the people who live in Athens, the majority of them have just moved there. Yeah, they are from another place in Greece, mainly a village.
So they're still nice.
Yes, they're still nice.
Oh.
I think people. I think that have about family. It's an important thing.
Yeah.
Before some years, it was like Christmas always with family, Easter always with family, and you can have some vacation on summer. Otherwise, name days with family.
Yeah.
It was like this. So the first time that I told my dad, I won't be here on Christmas, I will travel to the Netherlands. It was like, oh my God, why? But because I want to travel.
Yeah.
They could not imagine that we can do Christmas or Easter away from them.
Yeah.
They were grown up like this.
Oh.
And in my family, every Sunday we eat all together. In the winter, every Sunday, because my grandfather's parents come here to live because it's better and easier for them, and the house is more warm. And in the summer, we're not able to go every Sunday, but every 2 Sundays we visit them and we eat all together.
That's so nice. With all the nephews and nieces and
Yes,
children.
all the ones that we are in the close family, but anyone can come and have a lunch. Have the lunch.
And this is a typical Greek.
I think yes, it's and the parents, even my parents, who are young, for example, they are waiting to eat together.
Yeah.
So I think it's in every family.
That's so nice. And what happens with people who don't have that? Do they go to other people's houses, or?
If you, the nice thing here is that everyone knows everyone. So if someone is alone, I believe that a neighbor or a friend will invite him to have dinner or lunch, especially on a holiday and on days that are like celebrating something, because at the end I believe that they have something good inside them.
Yeah.
At least hospitality.
Yeah. Wow. So nice. Just coming over this. Okay. How do the rocks make you think more about the passage of time in your everyday life? Do you have any views on why we're here and what for? What happens after you die?
I sometimes believe that there is nothing, and we are here and we should live here, and mainly I believe that we will come back in another shape. I make, because as I've told you, I'm maniac with cleaning. I make a joke that in my previous life, either I was a maid or someone who used to torture people to clean. So that's why I'm cleaning so much in this life.
So she actually cleaning the table? Yeah.
Because it has water.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.